Hello everyone, a very warm welcome back to the driver's room. We're in the Endurance Championship today. This is season 1, round 1, tier 1. First race of the 2020 season's coming up. And we're kicking things off in the group 3s at Tokyo South Inner Loop. Our grid walk today: on pole we have CS Smith, starting with the Super Softs on the front, Racing Softs on the back. He won the final season of 2019 by a clear 23 points in the end. Definitely the man to beat going into 2020. Statement of intent straight away, sticking it on pole in the first race of the season. And in second place we have Plux the Duck, starting on the softs. He was runner up to Smith last season but swept the board across all 4 classes of the annual championships last year. Definitely a very quick driver. Be good to see a year-long battle between him and Smith amongst others. In third place we have Gadget, starting on the Super Softs. He's in the Peugeot VGT, making a switch to this Group 3 car for this season, and has already stated pre-season that he is most prepared for this opening race in Tokyo, so we'll see how he gets on from third. In fourth place we have Knee Jogger, starting on the Super Softs. He finished 4th last season and 3rd in the annual championships overall. You're looking for narrowly missing out on second, 10 points behind Gadget in the annual championships. Very quick driver, starting from 4th today. We'll see how he gets on. In 5th place we have Hit the Mac. He's starting on the softs, finished 4th in tier 2 last season but only competed in 4 rounds, won 3 of those rounds, so definitely a quick driver. Back in tier 1 after missing a few seasons last year, and immediately sticking it in 5th place, so definitely one to watch out for. In 6th place we have Kimaru. He's starting on the Super Softs, finished 7th last season with his best results coming in the Group 3 category. Solid qualifying puts him in 6th today. We'll see how he gets on in the Mercedes. In 7th place we have Jules. He's starting on the softs, finished 11th last season but is growing in pace, race on race. Good qualifying position, putting him in 7th today. Still prone to the odd mistake, but we'll see how he gets on. And in 8th place we have Senna, starting on the softs, 5th place last season and 5th in the annual championships overall. A regular tier 1 front runner. He finds himself starting in 8th today, so got a lot to do from there. In 9th place we have Wilco, tier 1 debutant. He's starting on the softs today, finished 2nd in tier 2 last season, picking up a win and 3 podiums, qualifying inside the top 10 on his tier 1 debut. Not bad at all. And in 10th place we have myself, DJ Rice, starting on the Super Softs, finished 8th last season but generally looking forward to a year-long battle with these guys to see where I stand in this tier 1. Anyway, 11th place we have Muller. He's starting on the softs, finished 6th last season but a comfortable 4th place in the annual championship, but finds himself at the back today. He's got a lot to do in that Aston Martin. We'll see how he gets on. In 12th place we've got Daz, starting on the Super Softs, 12th last season and 11th in the annual championship. Showed an upturn in pace towards the end of last season, so we'll see if he can carry that on into 2020. And in 13th place we have V8 Vendetta, starting on the softs, finished a point behind Daz last season but 23 points ahead of him in the annual championships, but finds himself at the back of the grid today. A very difficult Tokyo track. Is our grid walk for today. It's good to be back. Let's get underway. So here we are then, looking back from Smith on pole. Very tightly congested grid. Build up the revs, better get away for 2020, and we're off. Doesn't look like we've had any false starts. Everyone's away cleanly, no contact. Smith leads everyone away, coming down to the first left-hander. Just Plux still in 2nd, Gadget 3rd. That looks like Knee Jogger running a little bit wide in 4th. He's just about going to hold on to 4th though, as he's got Jules right, but there's a big group of cars coming down to this heavy braking zone now. A very tight track anyway, but as it goes, it looks like I think Muller got sent into the wall there. I think Wilco outbroke himself a little bit. So a quick run through the grid, check on the front. So we've still got Smith in the lead from Plux in second, Gadget in third, Knee-Jogger fourth. Got Senna up into fifth now. Hit the Mac in sixth. Jules dropped back down to seventh. A little bit of rear damage for Jules. So Kamaru's picked up rear damage as well. Heavy damage on the front for Muller. V8 in 10th, myself 11th, Daz in 12th. Wilco back in third. Yes, Wilco's picked up heavy engine damage on the first lap. It's going to cost him massively. But coming down to the hairpin for the first time as Smith goes a little bit defensive on the inside. Just keeps track position there. Ford GT is going to be a beast down these straights. Peugeot Gadget just still in the slipstream with Plux in second place. So Knee-Jogger's dropped a little bit back, but still in the slipstream of Gadget at the moment. Senna on to fifth, Mac in sixth, Kamaru seventh, Daz in eighth, myself in ninth, V8 in 10th. A few guys pitting at the back there, so I think Jules pitted, but he hasn't got the damage fixed. Muller's pitted, all damage fixed for Muller. Same as Wilco, so everyone back up and running now. So we rejoin the leader, Smith. Remember these three guys last season at Sardinia were pretty much nose to tail for the entirety of the race. So as long as Plux can just stay in touch with Smith. His group of three might just start pulling away as Senna gets himself ahead of Knee-Jogger up into fourth place. Knee down to fifth now. Got Mac in sixth still. He's picked up front damage as well. That might have been from the first lap incident. I'm not sure. Blasting through the tunnels for the second time. So, see Plux just picking up a slipstream towards the end. See Smith darting to the inside again to go defensive at the hairpin. Don't think he's going to get the move done around the outside now. So Smith retaining first place, but still under pressure from that Ford in second. Just can't get away from, can't break the slipstream. You're always going to be under pressure coming out of the tunnel into that hairpin. Quick run through the grid again. Knee-Jogger fifth, Mac sixth. So I've got myself ahead of Daz somewhere in seventh, Daz in eighth. So V8's dropped back a little bit now in ninth. Jules in 10th. Kamaru catching up to the back of Jules now, so I think Jules might be struggling with that damage still. Muller in 12th, Wilco in 13th. We rejoin the leader again. Smith still under pressure, just cannot break that toe. Just coming up to the docks, and looks like Plux has got the inside coming into the docks. He should get the move done here. He meets the apex nicely. Smith runs a little bit wide, so that's Plux up into first place. We'll see what he can do now. With now he's going to have the Lambo in his slipstream. Gadget still in third, just doing enough to stay in the slipstream in the front two at the moment. But yeah, they've definitely pulled a gap to fourth, fifth, and sixth. So got two separate races. Senna runs a little bit wide there before the tunnel. He's going to lose a bit of momentum, but there's absolutely no overtaking in the tunnel. It's just too dangerous. Going to lose too much time or cause a massive accident. Race settling down a little bit now. Myself in seventh. Can't shake Daz off at the moment. Daz doing well in the Porsche. V89 just getting back up to speed as is Kamaru. After getting picking up damage on the first lap. And Jules still carrying on with that rear damage. Muller in 12th, Wilco in 13th. I rejoin the front three again. Pluck's just coming round now to complete lap 3. 1 minute 56 from Pluck's. Top 3 getting bunched up again. See, Pluck's just going on a defensive, coming up to the docks. So Gadget has a look on the inside. I think Gadget's just moved himself from third to third. Brave move there up the inside into the docks. Moves Pluck's down to second and Smith down to third. Got Senna in fourth, still just doing enough to hold off Knee Jogger. And hit the Max still behind in 6th. But yeah, great move from Gadget there up into first place. Just coming round the right-hander before the tunnel. It's a good enough exit, so it should all stay line astern through here. Yeah, it does get very, very close and bunched up through the tunnel. The slipstream on this track makes a massive, massive difference. Pluck's just following closely at the moment. And Gadget not really going defensive into the hairpin, but Pluck's just slots in behind for now. So Gadget in first place, Pluck's in second, Smith in third, Senna in fourth, going a little bit defensive into the hairpin as so Knee Jogger's picked up a penalty there somewhere. Knee Jogger's got front right damage as well, so might have taken a knock somewhere along the lines. Missed that. But carrying on anyway, managing to stay with Senna at the moment. Got myself and Daz still just about holding on to my slipstream. Kamara looks like Jules just dived into the pits from 10th place. That promotes Muller up to 10th, who's really closed the gap up to Kamaru now. Jules rejoining 11th, Wilco in 12th, and V8 in 13th. Oh yeah, top 3, Gadget, Pluck's, Smith still very, very close together. As is Senna and Knee, as it looks like Knee's going to be close going into this braking zone. Senna a little bit defensive there, but a little bit too late on the brakes as he runs wide. It's a give Knee Jogger a look up the inside as he gets the move done, moves himself into 4th place. Senna just out braking himself a little bit there, but just enough for Knee Jogger to make the move. Just rejoin our top 3 going through the tunnel for the 5th time. Still Gadget in first, Pluck's in second, Smith in third. See if Pluck's might take a look. Coming out of the tunnel again. No, that Peugeot's definitely got enough legs to not have to go too defensive into that hairpin. So Gadget retaining first place, Pluck second, Smith in third, Senna in 4th now. So Senna's got back ahead of Knee Jogger. Hit the Mac in 6 as Daz looks like he's taking a look up the inside of the hairpin. So yeah, Daz has just closed that gap up again, probably coming through that tunnel section. Showing some good pace today. He's got Kamaru pitting from what was 9th, so that's released Muller up into 9th now into clear air. Kamaru getting that damage repaired. He's got Wilco just coming round the hairpin, so Kamaru just rejoining the race in 11th. Let's take a look at Daz now, starting lap 6. He's right on my bumper now. Just going bald with Daz, and I've had a terrible exit out of turn 1. And side by side, Daz and myself side by side coming down to the docks. I think Daz just might get the job done here. Yeah, he's got the inside, brakes late enough, nice Nice move as Daz up into 7th place, myself down to 8th. Muller still recovering in 9th, Jules 10th, Kamara 11th, Wilco in 12th, and V8 in 13th. Just rejoin the front runners again coming through the tunnel. I'd say really good overtaking opportunity coming out of this tunnel. If you time your slingshot of the slipstream right, you really will get a good run. As Plux looks up the inside of the hairpin. Gadget goes a little bit wide but doesn't fight it too much. That's Plux back up into 1st place, Gadget in the 2nd, Smith still in 3rd. Not a lot to separate these guys. We'll have a quick look at their tyre wear. So Plux on the softs, tyre wear looking okay at the moment. Very similar tyre wear for Gadget, but he's on the softer compound, so it's a good job from Gadget so far. Smith in 3rd, struggling a bit. You see the front's front starting to go a little bit there. Senna in 4th, still doing enough to hold off Knee Jogger, but say Knee Jogger doing really well to be carrying this speed with that front end damage. Hit the max, still having a steady race in 6th. There's 159s for Mac, 159 flat from Daz. Daz closing that gap to Mac a little bit. Myself in 8th, Muller in 9th, 157 from Muller, so certainly picking up the pace now. Jules in 10th, Kamaru just behind now after getting that damage repaired. Be looking to catch Jules up, I'd imagine. Wilco just crossing the line, 158, not bad from Wilco. V8 still struggling at the back here, just trying to get below the 2-minute mark. I think having recently just changed to from controller to wheel. Anyway, Plux looks like he's put a bit of a gap to Gadget there. At this stage of the race, Ford GT looking very strong. That's Gadget losing the back end out of the hairpin there. Yeah, he lost a good second there, I think. But that's Smith back up in the 2nd place after an unforced error from Gadget. Gadget back down to 3rd. And that looks like hit the Mac pitting from 6th place. So that's going to promote myself and Daz up a place. So Daz still holding on to what is now 6th place from myself in 7th. Muller just coming through, so Muller gets ahead of Mac as well there, so Muller up into 8th place now. Mac down to 9th, he's got that damage repaired though, so taking on a lot of fuel there as well. Coming up towards the end of lap 8 as we got Senna and Knee Jogger still close together, as it looks like they're both diving into the pits. So Senna and Knee pitting from 4th and 5th. It looks like I've dived into the pits as well. Promotes Daz up into 4th, so yeah, good first stint from Daz. Still got a little bit of tyre life left. We'll see what he can do now as he's in 4th place. Senna rejoins in 5th. Knee Jogger in 6th. Looks like Knee Jogger took a little bit more fuel on. Obviously got that damage repaired as well. So he finds himself a couple of seconds behind Senna. He's got Muller in 7th. Got myself in 8th. So it looks like I've just rejoined the track in 8th, just ahead of Mac. And so both of us with fresh tyres now. So Mac has a little bit of a look coming up to turn 1. He thinks twice and slots back in. So a good exit out of turn 1 is probably a better overtaking opportunity into turn 2. But I think just picking up the slipstream of Muller now is going to help me out in defence. Just coming up to the docks. Slightly worn racing softs. Muller's going to have to start getting on the defensive. Obviously, from my own point of view, just come out of the pits on fresh super softs. I'm looking to get ahead of Muller as soon as possible. It looks like Muller's just done enough to stay ahead before the tunnel, and that looks like Smith pitting from second place. So that's promoted Gadget back up into second. Just comes out of the pits now. I think he'll be comfortably in third place there. Next man down the road is Daz, just coming through the hairpin now, and he dives off into the pits for his first pit. Good first stint there from Daz. We'll see where he feeds back into things. So Senna and Knee Jogger re-promoted back up into 4th and 5th. See Daz just coming out of the pits now as a big gaggle of cars goes past. That'll be Muller, myself and Mac. So all just about got ourselves ahead of Daz. Daz might have took a bit of fuel on there, but we'll certainly catch this group of cars up if we all start fighting. So Muller just coming up to the coming around the last corner now to start lap 10, and it looks like I've just pulled alongside, and Muller's got the inside of turn 1. Sweep it round the outside and take 6th position. I'll get myself up and stick to Muller down to 7th now. I think Mac's going to want to get past in a hurry too. Obviously wants to make the most of that, make the most of the fresh rubber. Stay with these 3 as well. This is Muller goes defensive into the docks, just about keeps ahead of Mac there. So yeah, myself in 6th, Muller in 7th, Mac in 8th. There's Plucks diving into the pits now. Yeah, so we've got Plucks pitting. It looks like Gadget's also pitting, so we'll see how Smith's done on the undercut. First man out of the top 3 to pit. Half tank of fuel and he comfortably takes the lead again. See Plucks just rejoining the track there. Gadget in 3rd, so there's Smith back up in the 1st place, Plucks into 2nd, Gadget in the 3rd now. Senna and Knee still carrying on their fight for 4th and 5th, as it looks like Muller's dived into the pit, so this is going to free Mac to get on the attack now. Well in the slipstream of my Jaguar at the moment. Just joined Mac coming through the tunnel section. There's just absolutely got so much overspeed when you're in the slipstream. There's just literally nowhere to go. Let's see what he can do coming up to the hairpin. I thought about going defensive, and this might, yeah, it's a good move up the inside of the hairpin. So as soon as that gap appeared, he's taken it, moved himself up to 6th, as myself down to 7th. Good move from Mac there. I think I'll just be looking to conserve a bit of fuel and tyres now. Sit behind a slightly quicker driver for a few laps. Daz in 8th. He's still good lap times, considering he's not getting any benefit from slipstream at the moment. Still comfortably in around the 1:58 mark. Smith out in the lead now. He's got a comfortable gap back to Plucks at the moment. Obviously safe from the slipstream. So yeah, top 3, little bit of a field spread for the top 3 now. Slowly approaching the midway point of this race, so further the way through. Knee Jogger and Senna still close, 4th and 5th. So they come through the right hander before the tunnel. So we'll just have a quick jump on board from Senna, and you'll just see the closing speed as soon as that car picks up the slipstream. About now, it just gets sucked along at such a rate. And say you time it right, you'll get a good slingshot out of that last bend into this hairpin. Doesn't look like it's got his knees really early on the brakes here. Oh, can't see out the side window. There's knee. Oh, they're going to be close coming up to this next part. Sorry, terrible camera work there. It looks like Senna's got the job done on Knee Jogger, then moves himself back up in 4th. These guys, nothing to separate these two at the moment. Changed places a few times already. Just coming into turn 1 now. It's a little bit of an untidy exit from Senna there. This might give Knee another opportunity to retake 4th place. So he's ahead already. Yeah, Senna slots in. We'll see if Knee goes defensive into the docks. I think he might have to. Senna takes a little bit of a look, takes a lunge up the inside, and now thinks twice about it. Settles back in. Sorry, slots back into 5th place. So good battle here from these two guys. Have a quick run through the grid again. Smith in 1st place. 1:55.7 from Smith last time around with no slipstream. That is some pace. 1:55.6 from Plucks last time around. So better in Smith's time by a 10th. Ford GT very strong around here. 1:56 flat from Gadgets. So yeah, top 3 guys. Very similar on out and out pace, but their pit stops have become a little bit staggered at the moment. So we'll see how the tactics play out. So they're not even halfway through this race yet. Knee Jogger in 5th. Knee Jogger in 4th. Senna in 5th. So Mac in 6th. Still just about holding on to Mac's slipstream in the moment in 7th. Daz in 8th. Still setting PBs. So Daz still finding more pace as this race goes on. Muller in 9th, steady 1:57 from Muller. They pitted a couple of laps ago, so still a recovery drive from Muller at the moment. Jules in 10th and Wilco in 11th. These two guys having a bit of a battle. So Jules was behind Wilco not too long ago, seems to have got his place back. We've got Kamaru pitting from 12th. Front damage from Kamaru again. He's having a nightmare today. V8 1:59 from V8 now, so finally finding a little bit of pace. Don't think got enough practice time in for this race. Obviously, yeah, it goes a long way. I know myself. I personally did put a little bit of practice into this track. It's not one of my favourite layouts, but yeah, I wanted to make a good show of it. Just rejoining the action on the half an hour mark as we've got Knee and Senna still close together. Senna critical on fuel there. So, lap 16, so Knee Jogger and Senna both pitting together again. It's hit the Mac and myself in 6 and 7, so that Mac runs a little bit wide there. So that's Mac and myself also pitting from 6 and 7, so this is Daz coming round, see where he feeds into things. And Knee Jogger coming out of the pits, and Daz splits Knee Jogger and Senna. So Daz up into 5th place. A little bit out of sync with the pit stops, but really good pace so far, getting it amongst it. Senna rejoining in 6th. Muller up into 7th now. Mac rejoins in 8th. Looks like I'll rejoin in 9th. Bit of clear air now. Really need to get on the back of these guys. Start picking up that slipstream again, but I think Mac's pulled enough of a gap to keep himself safe from that. Jules in 10th, Kamaru 11th, Wilco down to 12th now. Excuse me. V8 in 13th, so still setting PBs now. V8 finding a little bit more pace. He's just got the leader Smith just coming up behind him for the first time. Probably the worst place on the track to be getting blue flags through the tunnel. Nowhere to go. So V8 diving into the pits there, I think it is. So anyway, Smith in first place. Still comfortable gap back to Plux in 2nd at the moment. Looks like Plux has extended the gap to Gadget a little bit there as well. 56.9 last time around for Gadget, 56.2 for Plux, nearly a second there. Gadget just dropping off the pace a little bit. Knee jogger in 4th. Finds himself in some clear air now. Dad's just looking to pick up that slipstream. Daz looks like he's safe from centre at the moment, so say Daz really showing a good bit of pace. Centre really want to start closing that gap up. Muller in 7th, Mac in 8th, myself in 9th, Jules 10th, Kamaru 11th, Wilco 12th, V8 in 13th. Now rejoining leader, looks like Smith's going to be pitting very soon. See, fuel just starting to flash critical there. Yeah, you can see the gap back to Gadget's definitely increasing. Scrapes a little bit of a wall there. Looks like Senna's picked up damage as well, so Senna's had a bit of an incident. You see the car squirming under braking, so whether that damage is causing some handling issues for Senna now, we don't know. There's Smith pitting from the lead. So I imagine, yeah, he's on 4% fuel, so this should promote Gadget back up into 2nd. So we've got Plux back up into 1st. Also critical on fuel, very good chance of be pitting on the next lap. Gadget a little bit better on fuel. And Smith rejoining the race in 3rd. Knee jogger holding on to that solid 4th place. Dad's still doing well in 5th. That tyre wear starting to kick in now as yeah, Senna looks like he's jumping into the pits again, so not what Senna needed. He was running, battling for 4th place for the first 25 minutes of this race, but picked up damage somewhere. Dropped right back to 9th now after that pit stop, so he's got the damage fixed, but definitely lost a few places there. Jules in 10th there, just diving into the pits. Kamaru 11th, Wilco 12th, V8 in 13th. Just take a look as Max really closed the gap up behind Muller now. So out on that fresh rubber. Muller's got to be coming close to a pit. They come down to the docks. Yeah, it's an easy enough move. Max already got the inside. Not a lot Muller can do at this stage of the race to fight that. And we've got Plux pitting from the lead as well. So it's a good move from Mac up into 6th. It's Gadget goes round again to reclaim the lead of this race at the moment. See where Smith is, he's just come round the hairpin now. Squirming, getting the power down on that Lambo, but comfortably back up into second. And Pluck's rejoining in third. 37 minutes gone, this top three. All on staggered pit stops, slightly different strategies and different tyres. This could still go any way. This knee jogger's still in the world of his own in fourth. No one in front, no one behind. Daz pits from fifth place. This will promote Mac up into fifth, I think. So Daz got to take a fair bit of fuel on this. Muller diving into the pits as well. So this will promote myself back up to sixth. Senna into seventh. See where Daz feeds back out. He's just coming out of the pits now. So Daz rejoining in 8th place after a couple of good couple of first stints. And Muller rejoining in 9th place. Kamaru 10th, Jules 11th, Wilco in 12th, and V8 in 13th. So rejoin the leader Gadget. Coming through the right hander before the tunnel. Nice clean exit. Got Smith behind. I think Gadget will rejoin in third after this pit stop. It's a lovely shot of the Lambo coming through there with a Ford GT just appearing in the background. It's a blast through the tunnel again. Gadget just coming up to the hairpin. Yeah, he's going to dive into the pits, I'd imagine, on that fuel level. Let's Gadget into the pits. So this will be Smith coming through the hairpin now. Obviously Gadget on 2% of fuel, he's got to take on quite a bit. Be in the pits for a little while yet. Plucks comes through to second, so yeah, Smith back up into first, Plucks into second. Gadget back down to third. 20 minutes of this race left to go now. Knee jogger having a bit of a lonely race now. There's Mac in fifth, also in a bit of clear air front and back. Just keeps it tidy around the hairpin. Yeah, a little bit of field spread. Looks like Senna's closing that gap to myself in sixth now though. .155.8 last time around for Smith, 155.4 for Plucks. Definitely a man on a charge at the moment. Gadget's on his first flying lap after his pit stop. See what sort of times he's setting in a minute. Just keeping an eye on this battle for the moment, as it looks like I've had a terrible exit coming out of that corner before the tunnel, and yeah, it looks like Senna's comfortably in front, well before there's any issues in the tunnel, all going side by side. So mistake from me, dropping from 6th to 7th there. Senna capitalising, moves himself up to 6th. It's on fresh rubber now, got some clean air, so again, not the end of the world this stage of the race. I could probably just afford to sit in the slipstream of a faster driver and benefit from that, and keep myself safe from the charging Porsche behind. Daz on that fresh rubber now, be looking to get some good lap times in. Muller in 9th. Just getting himself back up to speed again after that pit stop. Might be good to the end of the race now actually, Muller. Very, very good on tyres. I think there's enough fuel in there for 20 minutes. I'll be looking to make some positions up towards the end of the race. Jules in a steady 10th now. Kamara in 11th after I think he's had 2 or 3 pit stops that he didn't need. Obviously damage picked up various things, nearly hitting the wall there as well by the looks of it. Kamara in 11th, Wilco in 12th. Solid steady 1 minute 59 from Wilco there. Good consistency, but so that first lap incident cost him massively. So a real shame because he did qualify well. And V8 in 13th, just setting his PB a couple of laps ago. Just rejoining with Smith now, coming towards the end of lap 23. It looks like the cameraman's a bit drunk there, but it looks like Plux has really closed that gap, putting Smith under pressure. As Smith diving into the pits, this is Plux back up to first place. So this will be Smith's last pit of the race, I'd imagine, on the 15-minute mark. I think Plux will have to pit again. And trying to see where Gadget is. Oh, Gadget dived into the pits as well there. So, or did he? No, I don't think he did. I'm talking rubbish. That's just Gadget closing the gap after obviously Smith pitting. So Gadget's got a lot to do to he's got the fuel, but he's got to make them super softs last to the end now. But this should be a pretty much flat out race to the end for these two guys. Plux will be pitting soon from the lead, and this will drop him right back in the path of these two guys, as we've got Senna pitting as well. We're just trying to get on top of what's happening at the front of the pack. So Plux just coming up to the back marker of Wilco in the tunnel. Could probably do a little bit of slipstream actually. 40 minutes left of this race. I'm pretty sure Plux will be pitting again. See if he does it on this lap or the next. Just coming up to the hairpin, and Plux goes around again. Smith still fighting off Gadget in third place. Semi-defensive into the hairpin just to cover the inside. It's nice and tidy. A little bit of contact with the wall on the way out, but so pretty much single file through this next twisty section. Knee jogger pitting from 4th place. I think should comfortably rejoin the race in 4th. He does, yeah. It's a 5th place pits anyway. So we've got Senna and Muller in a battle now. They both really looks like I've pitted as well, so it's going to be quite tight. Where everything feeds out. Sounded like my Jag just coming out of the pits, but I haven't got a lot of momentum. I think that the Mercedes is Senna's just going to get in front, and he does. So that is Senna back up into 6th place. Myself down to 7th after that pit. Muller in 8th. Slightly worn tyres, but he'll probably be looking to make this last to the end now. Quick look and see where the leader is, Plux. just coming up to the pit stops now. Yeah, he's got to dive into the pits on that fuel, I would imagine. But 155.9 from Pluck's last time around. So, and that looks like Gadget has got ahead of Smith somewhere. Let's take a look back. So as we just go back a little bit, we've got Gadget just following Smith into the tunnel. Yeah, it's getting that massive overspeed. Oh, Gadget looks up the inside. Oh, he just squeezes up the inside of inside of Smith and the outside of the tunnel, but Smith just bounces off into the wall, picks up a bit of rear damage. So yeah, Gadget muscles his way in. That is first place. Plucks is still in the pits fueling. I didn't think he'd drop that far back. So that is Gadget in the lead of this race now. On the 12 minutes left of this race. Smith down to second. See if he can see how much that damage is going to affect him. Plucks rejoins in third place. Got a little bit of work to do to catch the front two up now, but if they start fighting, they're going to obviously start losing a bit of time. So yeah, that is our front top three. So Gadget in the lead, Smith in second now, Plucks in third, Knee-Jogger's still a comfortable fourth place, comfortable fifth place for Mac as well as 6th, 7th and 8th. Senna, myself and Muller all still very close together, as Senna going defensive into the hairpin, just covering off the inside. Oh yeah, just about staying ahead there, but yeah, these three guys in a race until the end now. Oh yeah, tyre wear good, should be good to be flat out now to the end of the race. A little bit of contact coming out the last corner. Looks like I'm just picking up the slipstream now, that Mercedes. As Senna goes defensive. Have a tighter line for this corner though. Is he going to brakes early enough as he shoots a little bit wide? If he'd done the same with Knee-Jogger early in the race, that promotes himself up into 6th place. He just about holds on to 7th, slots back into 7th ahead of Muller though. Yeah, good stuff here. So myself in 6th, Senna in 7th, and Muller in 8th. Dad's not that far behind this group either. Solid 9th place at the moment. Kamaru finds himself back in the top 10. Up and down race for Kamaru. More downs than ups, I think. Jules in 11th place now. He's had his last pit of the race. Wilco in 12th, V8 in 13th. But we've got a leader Gadget now. So that tyre wear's going to start becoming an issue soon. I think that rear damage is already an issue for Smith. So I think Gadget's just extending that gap a little bit as he through the docks. That section in particular is going to cost you if your car's not handling right. See Plucks just appearing in the background there, just slowly catching these two guys. Less than 10 minutes to go now though. As we rejoin this battle for 6th, 7th and 8th as Senna taking a little bit of a look into turn 1. He's on the outside, he's not going to make that stick. Just about keeps it out of the wall. This might well give Muller a run on Senna into turn 2. He's trying to have a look on the inside. No, it just slots back in. Thinks twice about it. So yeah, positions retained there, 6th, 7th and 8th. rejoin the leader Gadget now. After that risky move, just coming out of the tunnel. He's forced the issue, he's got himself in the lead. Definitely say he was at one point he was in third place and seemed to be dropping off the pace of Smith and Plux, but so the way his strategies have panned out, he finds himself in the lead, and I don't think there's a lot Smith can do now to catch him. I really think that that rear damage is costing him. May well be a sitting duck for Plux the duck in a few laps time. Still 6.5 minutes left of this hour endurance championship to go. So Knee Jogger in 4th, Mac in 5th. So just join these 3 guys. Oh, that's another messy exit for myself coming out of the last corner. It's about to start lap 28. Senna all over the back of me again. Senna's got the inside of turn 1 this time. I think he's going to get that move done. Yeah, but he runs wide. He's lost a lot of momentum coming out of the corner, so I retake 6th place. And Muller's right alongside him now as well, and he's got my slipstream. So going into the docks on lap 28th. So Muller up the inside, dives. Oh, I guess a little bit out of control because he nudges me wide. Senna nips up the pair of both of us. A little bit of contact from myself and Muller at the back there again, but so off that little mistake from Senna, myself and Muller make contact there, and Senna gets himself back ahead. A little bit of front damage for myself there as well. Front left damage for Muller, so I think Muller's got himself ahead going into the tunnel section as well. So Muller up into 7th place. So that's me. Look, I've lost 2 places in a few corners there. So Muller in 7th, myself in 8th. And Dad's not far behind this trio either. And good consistent lap times there from Dad's, from no slipstream as well. So Jules back up into 10th now. Displaced Kim. This Kamaru's pitted again. Yeah, 2:12 last lap. So yeah, it was a lap he pitted on, I'd say. Anyway, 5 minutes left. This endurance championship, first race of the season. Been a belter so far. Yeah, Gadget has pulled a comfortable lap to Smith now. As you see, Smith's really dropping back into the clutches of Plux. It's another lap and he'll definitely be on that slipstream. I mean, you get aero damage on this track and it really affects your top end speed coming through the tunnel. Lose absolute chunks of time. See, Plux he's picked that slipstream up now. I think it's only a matter of time now before Smith dives into the pits, gets that damage repaired. So it was only a matter of time. I think Plux would have got that move done within a lap or 2 anyway. So Plux back up into 2nd, see what he can do now as he goes purple. Really getting the hammer down as he wants that 1st place back. 1:55s from Plux. 1:56s from Gadget as well, so doing enough to hold on to that lead at the moment. Gadget in 1st, Plux in 2nd, Smith in 3rd. Knee Jogger 4th, hit the Mac in 5th, Senna in 6th, Muller in 7th. Yeah, Muller in 7th, myself in 8th, Daz in 9th, Jules in 10th, Kamaru 11th, Wilco in 12th, and V8 in 13th. Just diving into the pits there again. Just rejoining the action. Muller's still doing enough to hold myself off. That tyre wear must really be kicking in now. He's picked up a half-second penalty. So just a minute left of this race now. Muller picking up a half-second penalty. And I think I'm just about close enough behind to make that count. You see Daz has really closed that gap up to myself now. Starting to bunch up towards the end of this race. So 30 seconds of this race to go. See Gadget just coming round the docks. Doing just enough to keep Plux at bay. Just officially coming up to the hour mark. We'll come back to this in a moment, but I think we're going to have some official finishers crossing the line anytime soon. So this is Senna in 6th place. Unfortunate, one mistake from Senna. He would have been a bit further up the grid, but nevertheless 6th place from Senna, not bad. And that's Muller and myself on the line. So yeah, that penny I was talking about earlier with Muller, it looks like it was just enough for myself to nick a 7th place on the line. So myself 7th, Muller in 8th, Daz in 9th, Jules in 10th. So V8 finishing 13th. Back with the leader now, Gadget. If I had to pick a winner around the 20-minute mark, I probably would have gone for Plux. But yeah, Gadget's just kept the times consistent. Amazing tyre wear, and he has done enough. So he comes around the final bend on lap 31 to win the season opener at Tokyo. Well deserved as well. There we are. Race 1 winner Gadget, followed very closely behind Plux in 2nd, and Smith in 3rd to complete the podium places. Fantastic race. Yeah, fantastic race again, guys. Knee Jogger in 4th and Hit the Mac in 5th on his not T1 debut, but return to T1 after a few seasons. But there we have it, lads. Great race. I'll see you next week.